All right, so got a couple of pretty cool watches to show you guys today. Today I have two of three pieces from the 140th Anniversary Prospex Island Green release from Seiko. Seems like Seiko's always celebrating an anniversary lately, but I guess with a company with so much heritage and history, there's just a lot of milestones to celebrate. Big thanks to Sam from Gem Bijou for lending in the watches. If you're shopping watches, Gem Bijou is an authorized dealer for Seiko and many other brands. Make sure to check them out at gembijou.com. So let's switch things up and take a look at the watches. Now, these two pieces celebrate the 140th anniversary of the founding of Seiko back in 1881. On the left is the SPB207 and the SLA047 on the right. The third model in the trio, which I don't have here today, is the SSC807, which is one of the newer Sumo chronograph models. I actually haven't seen one in person yet. I'm a big fan of the Sumo, and the chronograph versions look pretty cool. These watches are taking inspiration from the Iriomote Island in the Okinawa prefecture with their green dials and gold second hand, which is meant to represent the sunrise over the lush green island. So we'll do a quick look at each individually, and let's start with the SPB 207. Of the two, I have to admit I'm a bigger fan of the beefier guy over here, but this is such a sharp looking watch. I love the case design. It's very similar to the Marine Master, but trimmed down. Well done finish work with some beautiful lines. The curvature of the case just fits perfectly against the wrist. It's very comfortable on wrist. We have drilled lugs, which is also nice, and these watches actually come with a second strap, a second green silicone strap, so it's a little easier to swap between the two. The bracelet isn't bad at all. It looks really good. There is a little jiggle to this one, but it's not too bad. The clasp is solid except for one component of the clasp, which is the dive extension. And I'll just open that up here for a second and show you guys. You can see here that the dive extension is made just from pressed steel. It would be nice if they could add a milled steel dive extension, but on the flip side, I really wouldn't use it anyways. There is 4 micro adjusts, so you shouldn't have a problem getting a good fit. The bezel action is very much typical of Seiko. It's got a bit of that mushy feel. The insert is sapphire. It's a 120 click bezel, and everything, if we can get it back to the 12, seems to line up from the bezel down to the chapter ring and hour markers. Size on this one, I'm getting with my calipers 41.8 millimeters in case width. The lug to lug is 48 millimeters. Lug opening is 20 millimeters and the thickness is 13.3 millimeters. The crystal is sapphire and the water resist is 200 meters. Powering the watch is the caliber 6R35 with a power reserve of right around 70 hours. This one is limited to 6,000 pieces, so not particularly limited with that many being offered, and the cost is $13.50 USD. The SLA047, even though there's some similarities between these two, is a whole other animal. It is much chunkier, bigger case, chunkier bezel. I wish I had a scale so I could give you guys the exact weight difference, but it's quite a bit heavier too. It's a little larger in case width at 43.8 millimeters. It's thicker at 15 millimeters, quite a bit noticeably thicker there. The lug opening is 20 millimeters and the water resist is 300 meters. Inside the one-piece monocoque case is the 8L35, which is based on the Grand Seiko 9S55. The case is very well finished with the Zaratsu polish work. We've got those signature Seiko curves and lines. I always really liked how deep the dial was beneath the crystal on these watches. The hands are finished with brushwork and then polished on the edge, so they always catch the light, making them legible in pretty well any lighting situation. I'll actually put up a low light shot here on screen now with both watches, and both are awesome when it comes to lume. The SLA047 is brighter and a bit longer lasting, but you can't go wrong with either. The lume is really good on both. Now, I know a lot of people aren't crazy about the bracelet and clasp on these watches, but I actually don't mind them. The ratcheting clasp is made with mostly pressed steel components, and that's kind of a common complaint with these. I'll just open it up here to kind of demonstrate how it works. I have seen a few of these watches, some older Marine Masters using the same clasp, and they've seemed to hold up fine, and they were quite well-worn watches too. And I think the bracelet does look really good on the watch as well. All right, so Seiko has a way of making these bigger divers just wear so great. You can definitely feel the weight though with this one, there's no denying that. Wearing it on the second silicone strap would certainly lighten it up a little though and maybe add to the comfort. Cost on the watch comes in at an MSRP of $3,200 USD, and it's limited to 3,000 pieces. So that is it, guys. Just a quick look today at a couple cool new releases from Seiko. Thanks again to Gem Bijou for lending them in. You can find them at gembijou.com. Appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.